We're not live yet, I don't think. There we go. I think we're officially live. Happy Friday, everybody. Let's just give it a second here. I'm going to make sure we are live. Happy Friday. It's almost the weekend. Okay. That should do it. There we go. Okay, we are officially live. So, happy Friday. Going to give it a moment here while we kind of just warm things up. And welcome to Expanding with Ease. We are talking today. Well, I guess first of all, if I haven't met you, my name is Lori, and I am a business success coach and the founder of the Zennial Traveler and the Strategy and Support Society. And today we are talking with Jamie, who is one of our amazing members, actually, of the Strategy and Support Society, as well as one of my beloved one-on-one clients. Wanted to just chat a little bit about Jamie's experience over the last, I don't know, six months or so, right? When it comes to your business, and you've made just leaps and bounds. So some of the most amazing shifts that I've seen in someone, and I'm so excited to talk about that, and just for you to let the world know what your journey has been like over the last several months, and where you were versus where you are now, and what that shift has been. And I also, just as you guys are joining us, navigating Restream has kind of shifted where everything is. So I'm navigating while I'm trying to talk here. But if you are joining us, please say hello. Let us know where you're joining from. You guys know I always like to have you just tell us where you are in the world, because I love travel. I love knowing where people are. So if you are live, say hi. Let us know where you are at. And we'll just kind of jump off that it's a conversation between us, but if you guys have questions for Jamie, you can always ask those throughout the conversation. So, Jamie, now I'll stop talking and I'll shut up, because nobody really wants to hear what I have to say today. I think everybody is more excited about you and what you have to say. So, tell me a little bit, a little bit about you, and I want to hear about your journey a little bit. First of all, who are you? What kind of business do you have? How long have you been in business? All that fun stuff.
All the really simple, easy things to answer as a new business owner. Yeah. All right, let's see. I'll answer the ones I'm pretty good at answering. So I'm Jamie Cole-Cerna, and I am a life coach who uses human design to help women learn how to trust themselves from the internal authority and confidence that they have within themselves. I call it the inner guidance system, and pretty much I teach women how to take their human design and take that information and integrate it into their feelings, their thoughts, and their body sensations in a way that they can then make decisions from a place that doesn't require external validation, or that isn't dependent upon the immediate circumstance in our lives. It gives us an anchored space and an empowered space to make decisions. So I work with women and doing that. I got certified as a life coach in late 2020. And I guess I would say I started my business about 2021 because a client sort of fell into my lap because I shared that I was a life coach.
That's a great way to start.
Yeah, she goes, I want to work with you. And I'm like, you do? Okay. So I started getting clients kind of like that for about a year, just trickling in here and there as I shared what I was doing. But then I got it in my head that I needed to learn how to do a business, and everything started to fall apart as I tried to figure out what to say, what to do, what was right, how to create an actual business. I started to lose sight of what worked, what didn't work, and really what worked was helping my clients and sharing. What didn't work, which was thinking about how to help my clients and sharing without ever doing it. And I found myself just in a spiral of not even being sure if I had a business, if I was doing the thing right, or if I was even fit to be a coach, which is silly now. But then I'm like, if I can't have a business, how could I be a coach? That put together. Then I found you. And that kind of led me up to about 6 months ago. And I was in Struggle City, I think, really just wondering what to do next, but seeing that there was something in what you were offering that showed success in areas. Like you were talking about things that felt like, oh, I could see that working and feeling successful. And I got curious.
Woohoo. Well, I am so glad. I was about to say, well, we met through networking, which, just the power of networking, right? But yeah, like I said, your journey has been just such an exciting one, and I'm glad that you found us. Thank you too for sharing. But I would love to hear a little bit, if you could tell people, just because you have made just like so much, like just so many shifts in the way that you're showing up, in the way that business is working for you, the results that you're seeing, and I guess let's start too by just telling a little bit more, okay, where were you with your business? Like
Yes.
where were you, like what were the goals? How are you feeling about those goals when you first came into our world?
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so I was at a place where I felt like I had the skills to coach and I had some interest from people, but I had no skills to convert interested people into clients. I felt really confused about that. So I had this business that was trickling in some curiosity and paid clients, but I didn't know how I was creating that. And it was really confusing. And I
Mhm.
was just sort of at a place where I was making goals out of feeling pressured to make goals, saying I wanted to make this much a month because that's what coaches are supposed to make. And then kind of crossing my fingers and going, well, maybe 4 clients will be curious and then want to say yes. Like I didn't have a path forward. And I teach my clients how to walk a path and feel confident in their navigation, but I could not see which direction to go with so many options in how to build a business. And I was finding myself feeling
Mhm.
like how I should do stuff, but then not even understanding what next action to take. So I was making um, an average. Well, when I started with you, I was really in a dry spell. I hadn't made any income in my business for a few months, but I had a couple of offers that had been working in the past. So I knew I
Mhm.
had something, but just was very stuck in how to get beyond that. And like you said, I met you in networking, and that was at my attempt to start trying to generate the comfort of even talking about what I did. And that really did start opening up some avenues, such as resources that I could start to learn how to use to find
Mhm.
the skills that I was missing that weren't outside of the coaching realm.
Yeah, and I think, everything that you said, I think probably so many people resonate, and can feel exactly where you were, and I think that that's a big thing that happens for a lot of people in the coaching's the online space in general, but especially in the coaching space where you feel like I should know how to do these things, and everyone else is doing this. You get away from the I'm just so excited to coach. I'm just so, and again, it's not just coaching. It is really any business. I'm just so excited to serve my clients. And when you start out, you're in that excitement energy, and then you get to that point where like, okay, the shiny objects, right? Oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. And these people say I should do this and should. And you said that. I feel like should is a dirty word.
Yes.
Like put that on your list of like 4-letter words. I know it's not 4 letters. Okay, I can count, but it should be a 4-letter word. Should be a 4-letter word, because I think it stops so many people, and you start doubting yourself. And like you said, you literally help people to make these decisions, but you get to a point, and I think a lot of people, especially coaches, again, get to that point where like I literally help people to do this, that I'm finding myself stuck in this place. And it happens a lot, and it happens to people at all levels, honestly. Not just, when you're starting out. So I think it's really important too that everybody understand like your journey. Like I would imagine most people are like, yeah, as you're talking, like, yeah, oh my gosh, yes. It just
Yeah.
sounds so like, yep, that's normal. So that was what was happening,
Yep.
right? So what things had you really like, what were you doing in your business and your life to try to shift these things? Like, were you taking courses? Were you like, what were you doing at that point to, what spaghetti were you throwing at the wall to
Yeah.
try to get to stick?
I love it. So I'm somebody who has always taken advantage of free material. And I mean that in a really, like in a way that when it's offered and value is given in a free way, I really appreciate it. And I try to learn from it and take it. And I value that about myself. So I had taken free material from many sources and tried to cobble it together to create something that would work for me. Now, that had worked in my life in other areas, in mindset areas around like weight loss, in helping myself beat addiction, in a couple places other than that saw great results. So I thought I could do it with this. But the thing about building a business wasn't the same as like letting go of a habit or changing something that I was already doing. So I was getting myself into a place where I would take this person's free material and try their stuff, but have no relation point as to like whether it was supposed to work or how it would feel if it worked. So then I'd go to the next free person. Then I'd go to the next free person. And so I was like bouncing from concept and idea to concept and idea, and I just became a consumer of all these things. And then I was like putting out pieces of all these successful people's concepts, but no, it was diluted in all of this stuff that they had given me. So anyway, then I started buying things, small programs, how to market, how to write content, how to whatever, these little things to help me to do it right. And then I wouldn't look at them because I think, well, I should do it myself. So it was just
anybody.
it was this cycle of consumption without creating value on the outside, without actually taking that knowledge and going, now I know what to do and why it makes sense. Here's what I do now. Then I found this group that has a complete set of experts that could go, yes, this is important. Not right here. Not right now. Yes, this is important. Not right here, not right now. You know, they could help me discern where to say yes in any given day and any given activity, and where to start pulling back and go, oh, this matters, but not right now.
I love that. And I just want to say, like, for anybody who's, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching the replay, and P.S. Well, everybody's kind of quiet today, but I see the one comment. I think that is Jonas, but said still in Florida. But everyone else, if you're here, say hello. But I would be really curious, because the things that you were saying, Jamie, I think so many people like deal with exactly what you were explaining. So I would love to hear, like, the basically shiny object syndrome, right? And you don't know whose things to trust and what to use. So you're just putting all of the things in place. Who else has dealt with that? Again, whether you're live or in the replay, because I think it's important to like, let's like just pull down the curtain and stop hiding. Like, everybody's doing it. So admit, you know, these things that we're going through. So Jamie, this is where you were, right? When you joined us. And what made you say, like, this was enough? Like, what made you, yes, you joined. So you joined on the trial, right?
Yes.
When you first joined us. So I guess, first of all, did you have any doubts, concerns, whatever? And what made you say, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to just give it a go.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know that I've thought about it in this exact way until right now, but my biggest doubt was myself. Like, I didn't know if I would have the ability to, number one, understand and do what these experts might be telling me to do, that I would trust in myself to actually like pull the trigger if it was scary, because there is this place where I knew that some of this was coming from fear. Like, the confusion isn't always confusion. Sometimes it hides like, but I'm really scared to do the thing, so let me just be confused about it. So the doubts were in myself being able to utilize that which I was going to be investing in. Even though the investment was $1, I had it in myself of like a little bit of, am I going to disappoint this team and myself by showing them that they can't help me? Like, there was a bit of that. And I thought, well, what the heck, it's $1. I mean, I guess I'll find out. But really, actually, that's not why I made the decision. What happened was, the team that you've put together are all experts that had shown me some sort of value or belief in me. So I knew that I was stepping into something where there was a space of belief, even if it wasn't mine, that they could help me get through if I'd let them. And so I thought, let me try it. I've tried a lot of things. I could try this. And yeah.
Well, first of all, I just want to say, we're so glad that you tried.
Me too.
We're so glad that you tried. So, okay, so you joined the Strategy and Support Society and you did the dollar trial, which, we have since, eliminated, but at what point did it really start to like click and you started to recognize, the value of what you had there, and to really start to be able to like take what we're saying there as those experts and to be able to see it working for you?
Yeah. Okay, I'll be really honest. So once I got in, I don't think I asked questions for a few weeks probably. But what happened was I started seeing other people's questions come through and how, excuse me, how experts were handling those. Because when you're in the Strategy and Support Society, one of the amazing things about it is you see other people in real time asking questions and getting answers and getting help on their materials. So even though I wasn't necessarily in a place where I even felt like I was at a level to ask the questions, I wasn't sure that I was even prepared to be at that space, which I
Mhm.
now know I was, but that's what I believe. I was seeing other people's questions and getting value and going, oh my gosh, but that worked for them. That worked for them. That worked for her. That worked for him. And it was like, okay, well, if I ask a baby question, maybe I'll get an answer. And I think I started with mindset stuff because that's often where I need help.
Mhm.
And your mindset expert was like within 15 minutes had a complete shift for me in the group where other people were able to experience that. And it was, I grew that belief that I can ask a question. Like it's safe to ask a question. So I started really asking like little questions here and there. Can you check this material? Can you tell me if this post might be okay? What should I do to get a client? Like you'd walk me through these little things. And as I'd implement piece by piece, little piece, I was able to see that, okay, if I do this, it actually works. And if I
Mhm.
don't do it, it's not because I don't have the answer. It's because there's something in me stopping it at this point. I'm starting to get real, true knowledge,
Mhm.
but there's me too. So it gave me the knowledge of I have the capacity and I need to do a little work in here too. So it helped me distinguish that. And then, if you don't mind, I'll just keep going
Yeah,
because what
you
really
keep
helped
going,
was
keep going.
pretty early in that I started asking questions, and then it was really evident to me that I had a hard time asking questions. That the first thought for me was, this question's not right, it's not good enough, I don't know who it should go to, even though you're just putting it into the group. And at that point, I realized they needed a little more help, and that's when you and I started working one-on-one together. And I just knew that I could really use help to get through working
Mhm.
on asking for the resources that were now available to me. And boy, that
Mhm.
opened some things up.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about what that was, right? And just want to say hi, Kim, driving. We're glad that you're listening. Stick to driving, and no need to comment unless you're stopped. Good morning, Megan. Okay, so yes, and we've been working together, one on one now for a little while, and you know, I would love to hear too, like what I know, actually it was right around my birthday, right? Because I think you
Yep.
responded to one of my birthday specials that I had put out. So what made you like just really say like, okay, enough is enough. I know like this is valuable because you obviously were getting a lot of value, but what was the thing that really was like, okay, I know that I want that support and this is what I want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And did you have any concerns about taking that leap?
Oh, yeah. We can talk about that. It wasn't about you. Again, we're going to see a theme
Yeah,
here.
no, nothing, no, you can say anything, even if it is about me. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm asking teeny tiny baby questions in the Strategy and Support Society, getting great help from those teeny tiny questions, and also really relying on other people to ask questions and be brave so that I could see the answers and start getting it. Kind of like that theme of free stuff. It was like, yeah, I'm paying for this, but I'm kind of watching somebody else get value. So then you started talking about, the opportunities of one-on-one, and what went through my head was this is the Strategy and Support Society group, those experts, was the first time I invested money in a program that then had people behind it individually looking at me, helping me be accountable, talking me through concepts and circumstances and thoughts. Whereas before I'd buy like a self-led program, or I'd be using free material, and I wouldn't see it as available to me to reach out to the person providing that, because I wasn't paying them. Like, this is all me, but all my beliefs and just how I roll. So I'm in this Strategy Support Society, had everything available to me, including you, but was still very hesitant to ask for the help that I felt probably I needed, because it was like too much. So you start talking about the one-on-one, and I'm thinking, in order for me to get the help that I require, I have got to be okay with asking for it. I need a coach. And this woman has started this thing that is the one thing that's given me results. And I feel really good about myself. I feel safe. I feel confident in where I am, even though I'm not producing where my goal will be, in my head. I want to get there. And I know that investment started something. And so if I do it one more time and it's a little bigger and deeper, maybe the depth of what I get out of it will happen as well. And it did. And the big concern was I didn't have any money. I wasn't making clients yet. I was creating momentum. I was getting a ton of measurable results that I had learned about measuring from your group outside of money and paid clients, but I didn't have any money that I could measurably say, this is definitely a thing I should be throwing money at, right? So my concern was, again, do I believe in myself enough to use the support to get the results that will make this investment grow for me in business?
And I think what you touched on right there is so important, because, and I think everything that you're talking about, and I know others in here, have invested before in coaches, and feel free to, again, share thoughts, feedback, etc. in the comments. But what you said is, I think, so important, because it's a lot of people, myself included, the first time, I shelled out a few $1,000s for a coach. It's a scary freaking thing, because as you said, it's not about trusting the coach necessarily. Like, sometimes, yes, like, you're like, oh, are they gonna help me? But it's, do I trust myself enough? And the value really of investing in ourselves. It's not necessarily about, it's not, what am I trying to say here? It's not necessarily, I think, about that, whether or not this person is going to get results. And I think a lot of people do come into it, maybe thinking that it's, do I trust myself to get the results? So let's talk about that. Like, what made you then say, okay, well, I'm not making any money right now, or I don't have the money to pay for this technically, but I believe in myself enough. I believe in my future, and I know that investing in myself is going to help me to get to where I want to be. Like, was there anything that really, like, was just like, this has to happen for you, or what was that?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to try to explain it as it's coming into me, but I think this is what happened. I trusted your product. I had gotten a taste of it, and I had started to feel what your offer could give me from your group program and from your free content. I had a trust in the offering being valuable. I had, from conversations with you and being in your group and being in your world and networking, I had developed definite trust in you. I knew that I really did believe that you wouldn't offer to help me if you didn't think that I was somebody that you could help, that you didn't have it for me. So I knew that I could trust you in making that decision as far as you could tell. So then that left me. And I teach women to trust themselves. And I'm sitting here grappling with this idea of, but do I, but don't I, but do I, but don't I? And the whole reason to get the coach was because I was dealing with trust in how to build a business. And some of that trust was like, do I have the actual knowledge that it requires? So I trusted you, and you had the knowledge I needed. So it was just such a fit to go, okay, even if I'm not 100% certain of my results out of this, I've got 2 out of the 3 things I absolutely need that I know make this thing successful. And if she trusts that I have it in me, maybe it'll help me just cross that little line of the trust I need to take the action. And it did. It was like handing over that payment was the act of going, wow, I love myself enough to say, I trust you to do this. I trust you to just
yourself.
do this. And there's other things, other components about this that you know are going to help you get through it. So it was an evolution of not necessarily getting myself to a place of like, oh, I believe I'll get an ROI if I put this money out. It was, there's enough there for me to take the leap because my discomfort in this situation is just no longer serving me, and I have a bigger vision, and I believe I found the resources that are going to help me on the path to that vision. So I'll try it. That's what I did.
So fingers crossed, and let's fast forward. So where are you now? Like
Yes.
what shifts have you seen now as a result, not just of the Strategy and Support Society, but of this deeper work that we've been doing together?
Yes. So I guess it's kind of all, it feels like it's all a web together. So with you, immediately it became evident that if I wanted to talk about content and sentences and how to get a client, you were going to ask me what get a client means and what all the beliefs under that were going into. And so we started immediately unwinding where my like need and the stuff that wasn't feeling empowered was hiding, and that was showing up in my resistance to writing content, to trying to speak from a place of openness and authenticity when I start to get that need of and want in. So you helped me really untangle those two things and start to hold myself accountable to what are the actions that are productive and what is the mindset I'm working on to make those actions have the energy that are that behind it that are productive. In the meantime of working on that with you, that was giving me a space to get clarity on what I should ask the experts. Maybe I didn't need to ask the it's hard to think of an example, but maybe I didn't need the video expert to give me her perfect framework strategy on how to build a video one more time. Maybe I could ask her, hey, could you give me 10 topics on this subject and just like help me figure out if those are catchy hooks? Like I could actually get her expertise on the thing she really knows about that's going to help me improve that message that I want to get out. So I started looking at it in a different way, as not that all of you had the answer that I could follow exactly and do, and then it would be mine, but rather I have an answer and you're going to help me improve it until my answer is exactly the thing that my clients like, wow, from. That's how it feels.
Which they're wowing now, right? And so let's talk about, right, because the tagline here too is how you went from random clients to getting clients, leads, referrals on a daily basis. Which PS just have to say, like we started this conversation saying like, oh, I just got another call. I have 4 calls on Monday. Another new client starting. So let's
Yes. Okay. So yeah, it got us to 28 minutes. I haven't even told you how we're expanding with ease. Okay. When I first started with you, I had several clients. It was lovely. They had all come in through different means, and I was a little confused as to how I got them, but thrilled. Started working with Strategy Support Society and you, and started implementing some free value that we're bringing in clients with like strategy calls and just giving the opportunity for myself to be out there more, not necessarily just saying what I do, but doing it. And from that moment 6 months ago to now, I went from having no idea how to even create a consultation call or a client or anything to now having a very packed calendar of free calls, discovery opportunities, one-off sessions. I have some new clients. I have more coming and conversations. I've got the confidence to have the conversations with people. And I've built genuine relationships with my audience that feel safe to have those conversations when they're ready. I'm no longer thinking of everybody coming into my world as, oh my God, how do I get them to be a potential client? I'm thinking of them as a new relationship, and let's see how we fit together and whether I can give them value. And wow, when they get that and they invest in me, when they believe in at least 2 of the 3 things, the results they get are like phenomenal. And I know that now, but it's because I've done the work with you guys to do that. And it's creating a flow.
Yeah, which I think is important, to say, like you've created a flow, and where you do have those leads and referrals coming in, where you're waking up. And I have to say, I just love those messages too. And I wake up from I'm like, I just woke up and I have another call on my calendar. Like that's the dream, right? That is the dream of us as online entrepreneurs, is that people, you're like, I don't even know where this one came from. Like, I don't know this person. When you start to see names of people that you don't recognize, because again, they're following you, you're building the relationship, even if you haven't met them. And you're converting them into clients.
So that, let me just say, that's one of the biggest results I can say out loud, because before I worked with you guys, I honestly, truly wondered if people were lying about getting that. like I could not conceptualize strangers just signing up for a call. Like, how do you get to that? I don't even know if the person telling me they get that is telling the truth. That's where I was in my mental belief. Now I'm waking up and texting my coach. I don't know the name of this person. It must have been a referral or something. I can't believe it. I have a call. Now, I am still, I am not an expert of getting all the calls, getting all the referrals, getting all the clients, and having $1 million business yet. However, it's excited and delighted over shocked and confused. And that is so awesome to wake up to, rather than like, how did this happen? It's like, yes, again, I can't wait to thank whoever got this person in my world. Like, that's exciting.
Yeah, so exciting. And I mean, again, this just shifts that we've seen from day one of, yes, how do I do this? I don't have anything coming in. I don't know how to keep them coming in. I don't know how to identify how to get my clients into. Okay, just woke up and here's another one. And I'm doing this workshop and I'm doing that thing. It really, and I think you said something really important, and you hit the nail on the head there, that it's almost like that belief, because we hear, and it's really easy in this online space to see a lot of the things that people are saying like, is that even real? Is that even possible? Because at certain points in your journey, it does not feel possible for you, right?
Yes.
But it is possible, okay? And none of this was solicited. This is, just Jamie saying, this is what's happened for her. And it is true, and it is possible. So what would you say to someone who is at that point that you were at 6 months ago? And, what would your advice be?
Yes. I would say, if I continued down the path that I was going 6 months ago, I might have created a business. I might have made $100,000 eventually. I might have made bigger months at some point. There's a lot of things that I probably could have gotten to. And I don't believe my foundation would have been solid. I don't know how much I would have understood the creation process and how to feel solid in every part of creating an audience and clients and relationships. And so I would suggest that even though it's possible to do it that way, how incredibly valuable it is to start now and learn the solid foundation that doesn't feel so shaky, so that when we get to the first big goal and want to get to the second big goal, we don't turn around and go, but how did I do that? I'm confused. I don't know. It's like, I want to know, and I understand that things will come up and there will be cycles, but my first cycle of business is creating a foundation that I can stand on. And that is powerful. And I want that for everybody that's doing this.
So you got all that, everybody, right? Good morning, Andrew. And yeah, I think I got everybody else. But thank you, Jamie. So if someone was on the fence about, working with the Strategy and Support Society or with me, what would you say to them?
I would say that if there was doubt, ask yourself where it is, because the investment for the incredible value given is just a no-brainer. And it's a monthly investment. So to even just try it and understand the depth of support that you'll receive, even if that wasn't something that you sustained, it's not something you can take away once you receive it. There's a month to get to know other people, other answers for other people, even if you didn't ever ask a question. There are workshops and teachings and office hours, and there's just so much available that it's not really possible to not see the value in this opportunity. The question is, do you see the value in yourself at this point to take the chance on the opportunity? It is worth it if you think you're worth doing it for. That's what I would say.
Well, thank you. And that's exactly. If you trust yourself, we've got your back. And just to kind of piggyback off of that for those that maybe aren't familiar, but the Strategy and Support Society, there's 9 of us, different coaches and experts in different areas, and whether you're coming in for the marketing support or for sales or just the mindset, you don't even have to take advantage of all of it. The thing is we've got you. We have people that are like, I'm just never leaving, right? Because as you scale, we have people that are kind of where you're at, where I would say you're kind of in that middle, like you've gotten clients, you're just trying to really like perfect your systems and to make those things more consistent so that you can know how you made that 100K so that you can sustain the 100K, right? But then we also have people that are brand new in their businesses and just starting out and working on their first clients. And then we have people that are, at over 10 clients, and agencies and are scaling their businesses and their teams and growing. But no matter where you're at, we've got you from day one all the way up to that point. And
I can't imagine leaving. Like, I can't imagine not being at that next level of business that I see myself probably getting to in a relatively short amount of time for my brain to conceptualize. I can't imagine then going, oh, and now I don't need all the resources that helped me. Evolution, and that includes the one-on-one. The one-on-one relationship for me is, it created an intimate, allowed me to like you created a mirror that helped me get past that piece that I couldn't believe in, the seeing myself, and that the ability to ask questions and receive support in that deep way opened up safety to ask more in the other way too. So they're in conjunction, both really positive, incredible investments that I would not imagine not making for myself now that I've done it. But if there's a person that hasn't done it before, it might be like foreign, like, really, this really does make that much of a difference? Yes, I can truly, honestly say yes. Yes.
I don't know how much more to say. So the link, if you want to join us, is in the comments to join. And the investment, it's only $147 a month, which, depending on where you are in your journey, that can seem like a lot, but it really is priceless. And yes. I don't toot my own horn often, but this program, the Strategy and Support Society, it will change your life. It really will. It will change your business, and it changes your life. And it also, the big thing too is now you have Jamie in your world. You have everybody that you would need to help you grow your business. You don't have to worry about who to trust because you know who you can trust. And as long as you're willing to trust in yourself to ask the questions and get the support, because everybody is available one-on-one too. So awesome. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
I just can't say enough good things about you and everything that you have accomplished. And just P.S. everyone, if you've ever been curious about human design, you should reach out to Jamie, because she is a genius at what she does. And now that she's learning to trust herself, other people are starting to see that just as much.
Yep. Thank you.
Send either one of us a message if you want any more information on anything. And thank you so much. And again, if you are on the fence about joining the Strategy and Support Society, just do it. Just try it. And just be brave, as Jamie said, and trust yourself enough to ask the questions and get the support that you needed. So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and have a lovely weekend. Thank you, Jamie.
Bye.